This is the NFL Weekend Review Show on the Flex Network.
Going up, coming down, does he come down with it? Does Golden State have it? He's in the end zone, he has!
This is the Flex Network.
Unbelievable!
This is the
Romo
Flex
can't get the
Network.
squad down!
Flex on
Run Zeke. Up the middle, he's gone! Zeke's gone! Goodbye, Zeke! Touchdown! Short yardage, pinched in. The dog's got out.
Flex on G.
Brandon in the gun, third and 8. Crowd making noise. Manning 5 steps. Here comes the run. Taco's got it. That's a run. Low snap. He picks it up. He looks. He stands. He rushes. Oh, he's up the middle. He's running up the middle. And boom!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all the ages, it is Thursday. That means it is time for the NFL Weekend Review Show here on the Flex Network. And you know what? After a crazy week 15, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, but normally you
Week 15 was nuts.
Oh yeah. Normally you guys see me on here with Flex Mike and Cowboy Cam, but you know I can't seem to find them. Well, you know, guys, where you at? Oh, I guess they cannot make the show tonight. It's on this Christmas week. Man, on this Christmas week, they have to just, you know, they got stuff going on. But lo and behold, the SnowMan has brought in backup for a special Christmas edition. Happy holidays, everyone. So yeah, I brought in my good friend Anthony to talk football with you guys. And boy, we got a lot to talk about. We got Ryan checking in onto the show. I'm here early and damn me, let's go. Boom Day. It's like, yep, we got a lot of stuff to talk about.
That we do. And hey, you know, SnowMan, I am honored to be on the show tonight with you guys and everything like that. You know, wishing you know, the other guys, you know, very well wishes for the holidays and everything and Christmas, and look forward to seeing you guys next week. But
yeah,
let's get right into this. Let's go.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about this week. Of course, Flex Mike and Cowboy Cam wish you guys happy holidays. I have their picks. So before we get too far into it, I have their picks when we get to the pick segment. But let's talk what went down this past week. Holy heck. Talk about craziness and unpredictability. The New York Jets. The New York Jets.
What a ball game!
Win a ball game.
The Jets won a ball game. The Jets won a ball game.
Literally. What the guys, I cannot be shocked and surprised, you know, to believe that the New York City Jets, the gangrene machine, won an NFL football game this year against, of all people, the Rams, the Hollywood Rams, and they win it by a field goal.
Hey, a win's a win.
Yeah.
I tell you what, all the Seahawks fans out there, you know, I think New York was just saying, hey, Merry Christmas. Here you go. You guys are back on top of the division.
Well, not only that, I mean, it was a double switch here. I mean, not only did you have the Seahawks make a jump up to first place over them Hollywood Rams, but them Jets switch draft positions with the Jaguars, with Jacksonville, with that win.
Honestly, I don't even think Vegas would have put odds on that even being remotely possible.
No, you could have easily said
that. Actually gaining position standings with one win.
Yeah, you could have easily said that the Jets were going to go 0-16. They were going to join the Detroit Lions and
The Cleveland
the
Browns.
Cleveland Browns in losing every game this season, in one season. And no one would have been the wiser to say, you know what, the way that they're playing now, I hold you to that bet. It's like, yeah.
It's like that old song back from when I think our parents were kids. Do you believe in miracles?
Oh, that is just so crazy. But yeah, the Jets got it done this week. It's just so crazy. NFL news that also went down, within the last, other than, the shocking surprise of the Jets winning, which I think we're all still stunned about. Yes, over the weekend we had, actually even yesterday and today, Dwayne Haskins broke COVID protocols as he was photographed without a mask at a hotel after the loss against the Seahawks. I guess he was celebrating with his sister, her birthday, and now he's being, this was the second case of breaking COVID, and now he's going to get fined $40,000, and he is no longer captain.
The 40,000 isn't going to hurt him. Losing the captaincy, I think that's where it hits him right in the pride, and I think that's going to matter more to him than the money aspect of that. But I mean, come on, man! It's been a crazy year, absolutely unprecedented with everything. The protocols are in place for a reason to keep, the players safe and everything like that. I know that, I think, what was it, Tennessee, Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Had a really bad outbreak of it and everything like that. But
and Denver,
look what they did. They followed the protocols. Once, they got hit in the head with the proverbial cast iron skillet there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, what makes this worse? Well, what makes this worse is the Washington whatchamacallits are in a playoff picture hunt. They're in the hunt for an NFC East title, and your backup quarterback, who is probably going to be needed this week, is doing something stupid and, breaking protocol. Even, I get the whole, you're going to, you're with your sister, you're with family. If it was you were masked up and everything, then no big deal. It's just, oh, I was with my sister, something like that. But you're without a mask in a COVID protocol that's going on right now. You're having this chance, an opportunity to not only get infected, but then to also possibly pass it along to your teammates and your coach who just got done with chemo and getting cancer knocked out of his system. He's immune system is shot, so he can easily get like that. So that's a problem, a big problem right there. And when you're in a playoff picture hunt right now, when you're in a title hunt, and you can't afford to have your quarterback who's already limited with a strained right calf, and we don't know if he's going to be 100% coming in or if he's even going to be playing on Sunday. And your backup is probably going to be your starting quarterback. You kind of need him to be, need him focused instead of doing something stupid like this. But again, and we'll get Anthony's thought in a second, when he's able to in the moment at the noise. But yeah, it's just so crazy. But yeah, he's been fined $40,000. Dwayne Haskins, $40,000, essentially a good chunk of his paycheck, and no longer a captain. He, as part of the plan, he will be getting 2 daily tests. He will be in practice. He's supposed to be socially distant as much as possible. But that is just crazy to say the least with Washington right now, especially in a title picture right now, to have an opportunity to get into the playoffs and represent the NFC least at the number 4 spot and host a playoff game this year. Oh, 1 sec.
While I'm in the
All right.
store, check on her.
Yes. But yeah,
What's your thought, man?
just
Doc got her
it
booked off.
seems kind of selfish that he would be out there breaking the COVID protocol, knowing that yes, he is playing for NFC East championship, a playoff berth. I just I don't understand it. I really just don't understand it. But hopefully that this fine and the losing of the captaincy will teach him a lesson on what's going on, and
Yeah,
maybe others can actually maybe finally start learning from example.
Yeah, I mean, this is just going to drastically hurt his reputation already. With the second time that this has been broken, it's going to hurt his reputation with not being a teammate that they can depend on as much because of probably depending on the situation that he's putting himself in and putting the rest of the team in. But I mean, Ron Rivera said he was up forth with it. They've been talking, so he supports him, and obviously, but he needs to get his head on straight, knowing that they're in this title fight right now.
Get his head out of the area where the sun don't shine.
Yeah. Other news over the week, Juju Smith says he is done dancing on opponents' logos during pregame warmups after scrutiny over the last 2 weeks of him doing it on logos. Yeah, that one's kind of a funny thing to say, especially after the game he had over the weekend. Holy crud. Just getting, catching that pass against Cincinnati on Monday night, and then all of a sudden takes 2 steps and just gets trucked. Literally. Move over, the train just came through and knocked Juju square out and fumble that ball.
What that looked like, and what it looked like, it literally looked like me driving my semi-truck loaded 110,000 pounds and just full speed, 65 miles an hour at my governor, and just boom, obliterated.
Yeah, just that was just so a crazy moment to see on Monday night. Just
that's just one of those hits that were at home as the viewer just makes you go, "Oh, I'm hurting after that one."
Yeah, and the fact that he fumbled it was just like, yeah, man, I can't believe that. And then not only that, but Cincinnati beating Pittsburgh on top of that. That was even more of a shocker.
It was upset weekend in the NFL, that's for sure. The Jets over the Rams, the Bengals over the Steelers. Honestly, who even possibly gave the Bengals a chance against the Steelers with how well they've been playing this year? And I mean, and as much as I hate to say it, being a Seahawk fan, we'll not get there. We'll not go there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The Steelers have been playing really good this year.
They were undefeated. They were on 11-game win streak, and then they decide, hey, we're just going to drop the last 3 right now, or the next 3.
We're going to give her this
but
tonight.
It's just so very well. Again, it's upset with the last several weeks. I think for teams that are in the playoff line, it's been upset city, and this past weekend was one of them.
Well, and then last weekend as well, where we got the Giants beating the Seahawks and everything like that, But as we had talked previously beforehand, that ended up actually being a good loss for Seattle here a couple weeks ago. Because look at what we did the next week. We came out and just walloped on the Jets last Sunday, 40-3. And then our game just previously on Sunday against the whatchamacallits. Yes, we won that game 20-15. And, there was a couple of holes in a few different aspects of the game and stuff like that, like our defense letting in some bigger runs. But we had played a lot of defensive snaps on Sunday for the Seahawks.
Yeah.
So understandably, those guys are going to be tired and they're going to give up those bigger runs. But when it mattered most, especially that final drive by Washington, the 3 sacks to seal that game, this is the defense that Seattle fans are used to seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you compare our stats from the first half of the season defensively to up till now. Oh man, it's night and day difference.
Oh yeah.
We went from being one of the worst defenses in the league to top 5.
Oh yeah, in the span
Somewhere
of
in there, maybe top 10. I don't have the stats right here in front of me, but it's been a drastic improvement. And you know what? And people are talking. The media is taking attention to this. Coaches are like, "Oh crap, Seattle's on their way up. We better watch out. We better figure something out on how to try to beat this defense."
Yeah, they needed that come to Jesus moment against the Giants, and they had it because the following week, last 2 weeks, they've been improving and they have been showing out and balling out. And we're going to talk. We're going to get into it in a little bit with the Seahawks a little bit more. Let's get into the scores. Before we get into the scores, there is a laugh out moment of the week I have, and that was another Henry moment, just destroying down there and over the weekend. That was seeing that run on Detroit, just like Henry, and just pushing him like, "Be gone, Satan!"
Hello, Shamu.
It's like, Henry, he's just been devastating this year. He's had great runs this year and great highlights this season. Just a stiff arm and pow.
This is where I'm glad I am not the guy that went up against him and ran the hell over. And I'm just a fan that watches on TV. And we'll debate this until I am blue and we'll debate football until I am blue in the face. Sometimes my wife's dismayed and she just looks at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, no one wants to be on the other side of the Henry moment, especially if you're going to get posterized and put on highlight reels and make Sports Center top 10s of just for the year, literally for an NFL season, for the year, just to be on the other side of an Henry push off.
Just watching him get knocked over like that, it almost reminded you of Beastquake 1.0.
Oh yeah,
Marshawn Lynch.
Maybe not the whole run itself.
Just get off me.
No, it's not even get off me. It was don't touch me. I do not want
you. 6 feet apart.
Yeah, 6 feet and an additional 12 feet down underneath the floor. But yeah, that was just crazy. So yeah, let's get into the scores for the recaps this week. On Thursday night, we had the Chargers and those Las Vegas Raiders. It was a good game, but the Chargers pull it out 30-27. Justin Herbert, 7 games with 300 plus passing yards. That's an NFL rookie record.
He's been lining up this year. And he gets the right pieces around him with receiver wise. I think he's going to do very well for quite a while in this league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt. It was a great game for him. It was his, again, 7th game with over 300 passing yards. It's an NFL rookie record. It's going to be great to see what he does next couple weeks, and should be great. And then, of course, over the next several years. Moving on, the Bills and the Broncos had a trouncing of a time. The Broncos, the Bills bashing the Broncos. Yeah, at Mile High, bashing them 48-19. And the Bills have clinched a AFC title, their first one since 1995.
Wait a minute, you mean a team not the Patriots won the AFC East?
Yes, anyone besides the Patriots have finally clinched the East for the first time. in a long time. And the Bills have done it for the first time since 1995. If I remember correctly, that's about a 9,000 9,000 some odd days since their last since they clinched. It's been a long time, guys.
25 years. 20 just wow.
Yeah. 9,000 plus days.
Man, okay, so let's just put this into perspective here. The last time the Bills won the division, we were like 5.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean Chris is happy?
Yeah. We were 5, and it was just so long ago.
And then, let's fast forward now 25 years here. We have both grown up, graduated high school. I've gotten married and had 3 kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a lot has changed. I mean, in 25 years, the Patriots have, proven the dynasty's rule, and they can, kill out everyone in the NFL for so many years. The Seahawks can rise up and make noise in 25 years and make it loud and proud.
Considering the fact that back in '95, the Seahawks were considered one of the laughingstocks of the NFL with how bad we were.
And in the AFC.
And playing in the AFC West, getting our butts kicked by Denver every year.
And Oakland.
Oakland at that time.
Yeah.
And then, you fast forward 25 years, we've been to 3 Super Bowls, won one of them.
And the Bills are still known for their
4 straight Super Bowl losses. It's been bad. Let's see. Packers and Panthers went at it. Packers beat up on the Panthers 24-16. Green Bay 14-2 at home since 2019, including the playoffs, as an impressive record. Baltimore and Jacksonville went at it. Baltimore thrashed the Jags, winning 3 straight games. After losing the 4 out of the previous 5 games, they're rolling back up as Ravens beat the Jags 40-14. Again, the Jaguars, another team that you just gotta feel sorry for, because it just seems like every time they've gone up against somebody, I'll give them credit, they try, but they just they don't have the pieces to put consistent drives together, put together consistent games, and make something happen.
Yeah, I agree. I thought this was going to be a good year for them. They were going to be, maybe a 500, maybe a little bit over a 500 team with Minshew Mania running wild down there at Jacksonville. But, injury, thumb injury and just not having the right pieces at the right time fit caused this team to drop to a 1-13 and possibly holding the number 1 draft pick this year. I think that they're going to have to really look at what needs to be fixed around Jacksonville and, get someone in here that they're going to need to elevate. And again, I think that, and I said this earlier in the year on this cast, that they have their franchise quarterback. I duly believe they have their franchise quarterback in Gardner Minshew. But I think that they need to get, someone behind him that can support him, and they need to give him weapons to help him get the job done.
And they need to get him a little more protection right there on that offensive line. And, I'm not saying Gardner Minshew is coming in this season as a polished quarterback. There's no quarterback that will ever do that. He's rough around the edges, as quarterbacks go for rookies.
Mm-hmm.
You surround him with the right people. Mm-hmm. I think Jacksonville's got a diamond in the rough here. Surround him with the right people, get him the right quarterbacks, coaches, and offensive coordinators and everything like that to really see where we're going here with how his game's going to play out. Get him polished up. He could, it really could be something special brewing down there in Jacksonville.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Unfortunately, this year they ran into a buzzsaw that was named the Titans and the Colts. Just firing off on all cylinders for these guys.
Oh, especially, who expected the Colts to come right back out of nowhere? After the season that they had last year, just and coming in.
And
really, actually, I think they're the surprise team of the year. Really, because I think most experts predicted the Colts to be roughly about maybe 8-8, 9-7.
Yeah, especially after picking
Andrew Luck retired and
losing Andrew Luck to retirement and picking up Phillip Rivers. This was a shock surprise that they
picking up Phillip Rivers in free agency, which honestly I think that was the best move for Phillip Rivers in his career. Don't get me wrong, I loved him in San Diego. He did that man did his best with what he was with the situation that he was given year in and year out.
That's an understatement.
But then he goes over to the Colts, and it's just like, oh, here we go. This is a Phillip Rivers that we saw from his college days, and really actually making stuff happen.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine how differently we'd be looking at Rivers' career if that trade in the 2004 NFL draft doesn't happen? To where Eli gets sent to New York, and then Phillip gets sent to San Diego.
Yeah, it would be vastly different. Maybe the Giants. Maybe the Giants win their Super Bowl.
Yeah, we've been talking about Phillip Rivers leading those game-winning drives against the Patriots, not Eli Manning. Now, I'm not trying to disrespect Eli Manning here.
Can I get the
he is a great quarterback, and unfortunately, they didn't get him a lot of pieces for some of those years because they could have put together something real special there if they would have gotten him the right pieces around him to help him out, just to supplement.
Yeah, but, I really do think that we would be talking a vastly different aspect of history had Phillip stayed in New York. Eli was a Charger, and we would be talking about Eli, having bad times down in San Diego, and Phillip having an opportunity to stop the perfect Patriots.
Out of a breath in original.
But yeah, it's just a lot of different variables that we have here, and it's a what if situation. Moving on. Texans and the Colts again. Colts picking up the victory over the Texans by 7, 27-20. Indy has won 10 of their last 13 games. They're in the hunt there. They're in that title hunt right there, up there in the AFC South with them Titans. It's going to be a very close matchup, or a close finish for these guys heading into the final 2 weeks. Actually, this weekend, next week, to end the year. Titans and the Lions. Of course, we talked about this with Derrick Henry. Henry just sidestepping and pushing the Detroit Lions out the way. 46-25 Titans win. This is a 10+ win season for the first time for the Titans since 20. Buccaneers going on down to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Tampa Bay.
For a second there, I thought that game was going to be another upset there because it looked like Atlanta had Tampa Bay dead in the rights.
Yeah, but then that old faithful.
Here comes Brady being Brady
against Matty Ice. And Matty Ice froze.
Froze is an understatement. I think they, I don't know. I think they just shipped them to Antarctica or something.
Yeah, because the Buccaneers came on down to Hotlanta and barbecued them Falcons 31-27. Tom Brady is 7-0 against Atlanta, including the playoffs, career-wise.
And then that one Super Bowl that will forever live in the ire of Atlanta memory.
Especially Matt Ryan. It's burned. in the back.
That still gives them nightmares. Let's just be honest here.
Miami taking on the Patriots. The Dolphins
and winning. I think. Wait, yes, it was. They did. Miami did beat the Patriots, right?
Yep. Miami beat the Patriots by 10, 22-12. And this officially knocked out the Patriots for the first time in a long time since 2008, as they will miss the playoffs with that loss. Shocking.
You know, and on that 2008 season, that was when Brady tore his ACL, wasn't it?
I believe so.
Take a minute.
So, yeah, first time, it's what, almost 12 years since 11 years that we haven't seen a Patriots in the playoffs. And that was still in the midst of the dynasty right there. The early years of the dynasty right there. So, a lot of craziness with that. And of course, the Fish Boys having an opportunity to make the playoffs even more so, as this is a team that normally is a thorn in everyone's sides, but this year they have been pulling out all the stops with Fitzmagic and Tua time down there in Miami.
Tua has been, you know what? He has really righted that ship down there in South Beach.
You know what? I don't even want to say he has. It's both of them. You got to think. They've been doing some
good stuff down there in Miami. I think they're definitely on their way up to what Dolphins fans or what, any football fan is, really come to expect, or what we have heard from the history from our elders who, watched the Don Shula team go undefeated and win the Super Bowl and the perennial powerhouse that they used to be. I think I should give them a few years, and I think they're headed back that direction.
Yeah, I mean, this Miami team for the past for the longest time has been the team that has been at the bottom of the barrel, or they've been at the bottom of the barrel, but they've always been a thorn in someone's side. They've hindered a team to make the playoffs. They've ruined someone's hopes, but they still are not that good enough. But this year, they've turned it around. Fitzmagic and Tua have just been righting the ship, and the Dolphins are swimming to a playoff berth this year.
Oh, big time!
And now
who has really found himself a good landing spot there in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
He understands what's going on in the league, and personally, I think he's a great mentor for Tua there coming out of the SEC. Which, let's face it, anybody will, probably agree with this on this. And, and if you don't, I'd love to hear you guys' opinions on this. Please comment, like, share, let us know. The SEC is pretty much like AAA NFL.
Mm-hmm.
With the way that they recruit, the way that they play, and everything like that, I mean, more top 10 draft picks coming out of that conference than I know than I care to count. I don't think I can count that high.
Oh yeah.
But coming from Bama and then Fitzpatrick right there with him to help him along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that's magic time right there.
Oh yeah, great combination.
Oh yeah. Moving on, we got the Cowboys taking on the 49ers, and lo and behold, the Cowboys actually won.
Where's the kaboom? There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
Cowboy Cam would be happy about this. The fact that they hosted the San Francisco.
Oh man, you know what, Cowboy Cam, if you're watching this tonight, man, brother, I've got to give you some serious props. You don't disown your team. You stick right with them. And I tell you what, hey, so I got a lot of respect for you on that one. From one NFL fan to another, much respect on that. Stick with your boys.
Yeah. And shock,
Thank you for the
surprise,
win.
again, they're still in the hope. There's still hope in Dallas that there is a Christmas miracle coming along and that they can hopefully have a shot, a slim shot to get into that NFC title picture.
With everything that's got to happen for the Cowboys to win the division, oh man, it's all over. But you know what? This is 2020. Crazier, you know what has happened.
Or in Cowboy Cam fashion,
Anything's possible. Anything's possible.
anything is possible. I mean, the Cowboys right now, they are a game out of the East, and they need the whatchamacallits to lose its final 2 games, and they have to win out in order to have a shot at the division, because Washington has swept Dallas, and they own the tiebreaker. So they need to win out, and this whatchamacallits have to lose out.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, and I tell you what, it's crazy to see how the NFC East is shaping up this year. I mean, everybody, myself included, we have all made cracks about what's going on in the NFC East.
Everyone has made jokes about this? I mean,
but don't sleep on those guys.
I mean,
those guys.
We're going to be talking about
some weird ass, you know what, out of them, and make people turn around and do a 180 and go, "What the hell was that?"
Yeah, I mean, literally, it's going to be a fight all the way up to New Year. It's going to be a fight to see who's going to be representing the East all the way through to the end. Unfortunately, let's get through the remaining scores for the past week, and then we'll move on to further business of this coming week. The Chicago Bears making a trip up north to the Minnesota, and they pull out a victory over the Vikings 33-27. This is their Chicago's third 30-plus points in 3 straight games for the first time since 2013. And again, back to the NFC East with the Eagles. They taking on them Cardinals, their Bird brothers, in the desert. Unfortunately for the Eagles, they drop 26-33 against the Cardinals. The Cardinals are 4-0 against the East for the first time since 2014. Jets, the shock of the week, literally one of the 2 of the shocks of the week. The Jets pulling out a victory in Hollywood over the Rams, the first win since 2019 of Week 17, picking up a victory 23-20. We also had the Chiefs taking on the Saints. Saints losing in a close game to the Chiefs 32-29. Casey has won 11 straight road games, the longest active streak.
You know, and a lot of people are calling that game right there a very possible Super Bowl preview. But we can get into that later.
Oh, yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit. Cleveland Browns, the Sunday night game, as this game was the one that bumped Jerry Big D out of the Sunday night primetime spot, held up because this was a Cleveland bashing over the Giants as they win 20-6. Cleveland now has 10 wins for the first time since 2007. That's crazy on its own.
Where did they come from?
I don't know. I mean, they had to lose
the butt of every NFL joke for the last decade and a half, and now they're a 10-win team.
Yeah, but you know what? I feel like
this is going to the playoffs. It's like, wait a minute, what in all that is good and holy is going on here?
Yeah, the Cleveland Browns having 10. If you were to tell me come Christmas that the Cleveland Browns are going to have 10 wins, I would have been saying,
Whoa, hold up. Time out. Flag on the play, traveling, offsides, clipping. Hold up, wait a minute.
I would have been laughing at you and said, okay, you must be drinking, son, because the Cleveland Browns getting 10 wins. Yeah.
Whatever you're on, and if as long as it can pass every DOT drug test, I
We want that, but it's just crazy to think that the Cleveland Browns are going to be sitting here at 10-4.
And then now you're looking at it, and I'm like, it's like, wow. Just wow. That's all I got for this.
Yeah. And then, of course, the Monday night game we had was Cincinnati hosting the Steelers, and the Bengals pulling out a 10-point victory over the Steelers. 27-17 is their first win at home against Pittsburgh since week 2 of 2013. And that was week 15 in a nutshell. Holy heck, that was a crazy week. Looking ahead a little bit, at the playoff picture that we know of right now, Green Bay, for the NFC, we know Green Bay is sitting at top. We got the Saints right behind. The Seahawks sitting at 3 as they are the division champs have clinched. The only thing we have left for sure to know about is the whatchamacallits. If they're going to hold their number 4 spot at being the East champs, because they're sitting at 4 right now. We got the Hollywood Rams sitting at 5, the Bucks sitting at 6, and the Cardinals at 7. And then we got two teams who are still in the hunt to get into a 5, 6, or 7 spot, I believe. We got Chicago and Minnesota, and then of course the entire NFC East is still up for grabs. So, is there anyone in that is still eligible to get into a playoff spot? Who do you think is going to get in?
Honestly, it's kind of hard to say on what's going to happen with that. I think maybe the biggest changes that we're going to see is probably maybe where the seeding sits, given on how like the top three seeds finish up the season. Because honestly, for those top 3 seeds, that number 1 seed is still actually relatively wide open.
Yeah, I agree.
The Packers, the Saints, and the Seahawks, all 3 have a very cut, dry on how they are going to clinch that number 1 seed.
Yeah,
like for the Packers, if they want to clinch the number 1 seed, all they got to do is win this Sunday.
Yeah, and again, the Packers have the opportunity. They can clinch the first round bye with a win plus a Seahawk loss or a tie, or the Green Bay Packers tie their against the Titans, and the Saints lose or tie, and the Seahawks lose or tie, as long as both the Saints and the Hawks don't tie. So Green Bay has a chance to get
5 times fast
to clinch it up. And then the other clinches, the other possibility for the teams is the Cardinals can get a playoff berth with a win and a Chicago loss and tie. The Cardinals can also tie and Chicago loses, and the Cardinals can get into the playoffs. The Rams can get into the playoffs with a win or a tie, a Chicago loss or a tie, or a Arizona win or tie. So
if we go back to the Hollywood Rams here for a second.
Yeah.
All right, let's say that they beat Seattle. What if they technically win the NFC West? That's the second time they've beaten Seattle this season.
Well, that they would sit at the 3 spot. The Hawks would fall down to the 5. I would believe that they would just switch up that spot. And the Seahawks would not be hosting. The Seahawks would be on the road, as of course the top for that first weekend. It's going to be 2, 3, and 4 are going to be hosting a playoff game, and then 5, 6, and 7 are on the road. Yeah, that's going to be this weekend is going to be a battle for first place and the West right here on this coming Sunday. As Seattle, they just need to win and they clinch the West no matter what happens in the new year, in the last week of the new year. They will be in, and they clinched this past weekend, and they can seal up the West with the win over the Rams. And then the Saints, they can clinch the South title with a win, a Tampa Bay loss, or they both tie. And then, of course, the Bucks can get into the playoffs with a win or a tie, or a Chicago loss or tie. And then, of course, the whatchamacallits can clinch up the East with a win and a Giants loss or tie, or a Washington tie and a Giant loss plus a Dallas and Philly tie. So a lot of scenarios can be played out here in the NFC to finish out the last, for this week 16.
Yeah, it's it all shakes out and everything. I think how it goes is that who's Arizona playing this weekend?
Arizona has San Fran on Saturday. They will be playing on after Christmas. They are the afternoon game, and we'll make our picks a little bit after, in a few minutes. We'll make our picks for that.
Yeah, actually, that one's going to be a good matchup. So, we'll get into that when we get to the picks.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to the AFC side of the playoff bracket here.
Yeah, AFC.
So it's going to be a lot more cut and dry.
Oh, yeah. AFC is a little bit more cut and dry, as we know that the KC is in. Buffalo Bills are your East champs. KC is your West champs. The Steelers have clinched the playoff berth. But here's how it looks right now. KC is sitting at the top. They have that wild first round bye. Buffalo is right behind them at 2. Pitt is at 3. Tennessee is at 4. The Browns are at 5. The Colts are at 6, and the Dolphins are sitting at 7. Baltimore and the Raiders have a chance to get into the playoffs. They're still in the hunt. Any change in the last 2 spots? Is there a Baltimore getting in? Is a Raven? Is Baltimore getting in? Is Vegas going to make in?
Who are currently in the last 2 spots again?
Indy and the Dolphins.
The Dolphins have shown some flashes of stuff this year, but I don't think they're going to put it together consistently over the last couple of weeks to be able to backdoor into there. I think Baltimore takes up one of those last 2 spots, and the other one I think is going to probably stay with the Colts there, because and Vegas, the Raiders, has been the same way. They've had their moments where they've been good. They've been, able to take care of crap and take care of the game and get it done. And then other points where it's been, what in God's green earth happened?
Yeah. Yeah, we know. Well, here's the situations that teams can clinch and get into the playoffs. KC can sew up the first round bye with a win or a tie, a Pitt loss or a tie, Buffalo loss or a tie, or KC clinches the strength of victory tiebreaker over Pitt or Buffalo and clinches at least a tie in strength of victory tiebreaker over the other club. So KC wins, they got it. Pitt loses, Buffalo loses, or they both tie. KC has it. As long as KC doesn't lose, they can sew up the first round bye and get that number 1 overall seed in the playoffs. The Browns can clinch a playoff with a win and a Baltimore loss or tie, a win and a Dolphin loss or tie, a win and an Indy lose, a tie and a Baltimore loss, or a tie and a Miami loss. So Cleveland has a lot of avenues they can get into the playoffs with.
Just and how crazy is that? Again,
you're still shocked that they have a chance.
Aren't you?
Yeah, I'm a little bit, but I don't know. It's I feel like they may get at least even if they get into the playoffs. I think they're just going to get first round and then peace. But that's for another day.
Cleveland gets in. That's exactly what it's probably going to end up being. It's going to be first round. Peace out. We're done. We're cool.
Yeah, we got the T-shirt that we made the playoffs. We're good. The Colts, they can clinch a playoff berth with a win and a Baltimore loss or tie, a win and a Dolphin loss or tie, a Indy tie and a Baltimore loss, or a Indy tie and a Dolphin loss. So some odds, better for the Colts to get, a little bit less avenues for them, but as long as they don't lose, they can get in or have a better chance of getting into the playoffs.
Right.
And then the Steelers can clinch the North with a win, a Cleveland loss, or a Pitt and Cleveland tie. So cut and dry on that one for the North. And then the Titans, they can sew up the South with a win and an Indy loss. And they can clinch a playoff berth with a win, a Dolphin loss, a Baltimore loss, or a Tennessee and Baltimore tie. So a lot better avenues for the Titans to get in and one solid one to clinch up the South.
Yeah, Devin.
Yeah. I think a lot of these clinching items, please excuse me, guys, I'm still running errands and stuff like that, and I got to walk into Walmart. Yay, my team. Is, there might be one or two playoff clinchers that actually get clinched up in week 16.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I don't think we're going to be able to decide the majority of any of this until week 17.
Yeah.
We'll get into that next week's show. We'll see what happens this week.
Yeah, we'll see what happens this week. But let's get into the picks for the week. Again, I have Cowboy Cam's and Flex Mike's picks. As they're not here this week, unfortunately, we're going to make our picks. Last week, Cam wins with a 13-3 record. I was a game back, falling short with a 12-4 record, and Mike sitting behind 2 games at 11-5. That boosted up Cowboy Cam into solo first place with a 2-game lead, and of course, the SnowMan is back some games, and he needs to make them up pretty quick if he wants to get into the title hunt. So let's get in with our picks, so we can get AJ out of here for the night. Of course, we got our Christmas Day game, ladies and gentlemen. The first time we're going to have a game on a Friday. First time since 2009 of Week 16. We got the Saints taking on the Vikings on Christmas Day. We've got Cam and Mike picking the Saints. AJ, who you picking?
Who dat say they're going to beat them Saints?
Oh, you going with them heavily Saints? Okay.
They've got a strong team this year, even with all the issues that they've had at the quarterback position and everything. Yeah, Saints are a sexy pick.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, I'm going with the majority here. I'm picking them heavily Saints to exercise them Vikings out of the playoffs and sew up their South title. I'm picking the Saints to win the South and win on Christmas Day. That should be a great Christmas gift for New Orleans.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Oh yeah, and then we're gonna have 3. We have a triple header on Saturday, the day after Christmas. So while everyone is exchanging gifts for gift cards and getting returns for stuff they already have or don't like, there will be 3 games going on as we're gonna have in the morning stint, we're going to have Tampa Bay go down to the Motor City to take on them Cardiac Cats in Detroit. It will be a 10 a.m. Pacific time game for start. Cam and Mike went Tampa Bay. They're riding the Jolly Roger. I'm going to pick this one first. I'm swinging with the Bucks. I feel like the Jolly Roger is going to exercise those cats again. So give me Tampa Bay. And then AJ, who you got?
Fly that Jolly Roger.
It's a Tampa Bay all the way. The afternoon game on the day after Christmas, we got the San Francisco 49ers sharing the stadium with the Cardinals at the Big Toaster as the Cactus Boys are hosting the Niners. Cam and Mike went Arizona. AJ, who you got?
You know, this is actually a tough matchup for me to pick because with both teams, you know, they've had their moments this year, and I think, honestly, and it's going to kill me to do this, I think the Niners are actually going to pull something out here and actually beat Arizona.
Okay, so you going the 49er way. I unfortunately am not with Cowboy Cam and Mike. I think that maybe the Niners pull something now and they hinder the Cardinals' chances even more to, even worse, as it will be a sour Christmas gift, especially since they're sharing the same building, as I will be joining you in riding with them Niners this week. And then, of course, the night game we got on the day after Christmas on the NFL Network. And, of course, the last one, the Cardinals in San Francisco. You can check that out on Amazon Prime Video only. But last game of the night for the Saturday will be Dolphins taking on Vegas. Everybody went, or Mike and Cam went Miami with the Fish Boys. I will pick up first. I somehow want to jump on this Dolphin and continue to ride the wave. However, I feel like that this might be a chance for the Vegas, for them Raiders to squeak by, get into the playoffs, and have a shot at clinching a postseason berth next week. So give me the Raiders.
You know, all right, for my pick on this one, Mom, this pick goes out for you here. Give me the Raiders on this one. It seems like the Fish, they'll come out, they'll play great one week, and then the next week they just kind of like fall on their face. I think this week the Fish fall on their face, and that the Raiders pull out the victory.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a
great game.
Yep, and as Chris Berman said, the Raiders split down the middle over here for this week. All right, so that was the Saturday picks. We go into Sunday. Atlanta going on up to Kansas City. Yeah, unfortunately, I think this is an agreement of everyone hands up because this is going to be a KC.
It's going to be an ass-kicking party out there, I think. You know, KC's going to just light that Atlanta defense up.
Oh, they're going to torch them, unfortunately. KC has won 22 of their last 23 games. Their only loss this season was against the Raiders. So, unfortunately, I do not feel strongly that this Atlanta Falcon has enough to handle that KC barbecue up there. And
they're not going to be able to handle that defense. Their defensive line up front is way too strong.
Yeah. So
And
this
then
is
the
a
middle
case-
linebackers and the defensive ends, they're going to find ways to penetrate right through that Atlanta offensive line. And I think Matty Ice here is going to be spending a lot of time on his back looking at the lights.
No, he's gonna be looking at the stars.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be seeing stars, that's for sure.
Because remember, that stadium's open. No roof. All right, so we all chose KC. Next up on the docket is the Dog Pound heading on up to New Jack City. As much as I think everyone in America is saying right now that the Jets got lucky and they escaped Hollywood with a win, I don't think we're going to have a back-to-back.
It doesn't happen 2 weeks in a row.
No, so everyone,
Woof, woof.
everyone is barking with the dogs because we all chose Cleveland this week.
I mean, that dog pound out there in Cleveland, man, they got something to celebrate right now.
Yeah. I mean, again, they have an opportunity to make the playoffs. They need a win and a Baltimore loss and a Miami loss and an Indy loss. So they have a chance to get into the playoffs right here. It's right here in front of them.
It's going to be crazy.
All right, next game up on the docket, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers hosting them Indy Colts. Cam and Mike all went with Indy this week. They're not feeling the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. AJ, you want to take this first pick?
You know, my gut feeling tells me that Pittsburgh pulls this one out. They've always played the Colts very well, and I mean, it's going to be a close game. I think if there's any game that's got the massive potential for going to overtime this week, it is going to be this game. But yeah, I think Pittsburgh pulls this one out.
All right. Pittsburgh, you're thinking it's going to pull this one out. Pittsburgh has won 13 of their last 15 regular season games against the Colts. I feel like maybe this will be Pittsburgh's come to Jesus moment because they need to get back on their ways, especially with 2 weeks left in the season. They need something to build off of to get into the playoff mentality, that playoff form. I think this is going to be it. So I'm with you. I'm picking them Steelers. And what I'm going to be saying about Pittsburgh is that defense, because they are going to be
We'll be rolling Phillip Rivers.
Yep, they're going to roll right over him and just walk him with the steel.
Yes.
And I think this is going to will probably end maybe dampen a chance for Indy to clinch this week and possibly push them to next week and must win for next week for the new year. Next game we got is Jacksonville taking on the Bears. And Cam and Mike decided they are going with the Bears. Yeah, I'm kind of. Yeah, you know what? Not even kind of. I'm all hands up because this is a Chicago Bears game. To bash.
Show me the Bears.
The Bears. We're all jumping on Chicago's train. Jacksonville doesn't have it right this year. I think they're going to hold on to their number 1 seed this week. And when we say seed, I meant their draft pick. Yeah. All right.
You're just in playoff mentality.
Next up on the docket, we got the Giants, the G-Men heading up to Baltimore to play the Ravens. Cam and Mike, again, they're the same picks right now. They are picking Baltimore to beat the G-Men this week. I will take a pick at this one. You want to help me out there, Poe? Yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna fly with this Raven here. So I'm going Baltimore. I don't think that the G-men could. I
Show
know
me
that
some feathers. I'm taking the Ravens on this one.
everyone's going Baltimore. I think this is going to be a game that Baltimore needs more. Actually, it's going to need, of course, if they want to get in that playoff berth. The Giants right now, they are playing for their lives, literally for the next 2 weeks. They need every chance that they can get. Unfortunately, I don't think that the Giants play well enough to get past the Baltimore offense and their defense. This is just going to be a Raven game.
Yeah, it's going to be honestly, I think this one's going to end up being actually a really good confidence boosting game for Baltimore, sending them towards that playoff berth and into the playoffs.
Because we get you one of these and one of these.
Yeah, because again, they need Baltimore still may have a slim chance, but they're still in it. They're still in the playoff hopes right now. They're sitting at 8, so they need any chance that they can get. All right, so we all chose Baltimore. Next up, the last morning game of the day, we got Houston hosting them Cincy Bengals down there in Houston. And again, Cam and Mike picking them Texans. And this is going to be one of those trash games that no one cares about, unfortunately. That means we kind of don't want to watch, but we are kind of forced to watch. As these two teams are part of the bottom of the barrel for the year, Houston has won 3 straight on Cincy. I'm agreeing with those guys. I'm going with them Houston Texans over them Cincy Bengals.
You know what? Those Tigers up there in Cincy haven't impressed me much this year. Houston has made an attempt to turn it around, but it's just too little too late. Give me those Longhorns down there in Houston. Give me the Texans.
Yeah, and as you could read, from earlier in the year, I'm never picking Cincinnati again.
Well, there's your first problem. You pick Cincinnati.
Dude, yeah, that's a whole nother story right there of just the season that I thought they were going to have, and obviously going 2-1 when I was picking them, and then utter collapse the rest of the way.
And then you're just sitting there going, really?
Yep, that's when I stopped picking them after they hit 2-1. Yeah.
You know, we'll make you a really nice wood sign. We'll just hang it up there behind you that it says, I'm never picking Cincy again. I know a guy. I'll get it shipped out to you.
Yeah, I don't need a big old sign. I just need something that will probably be on the green screen. But either way, moving on. From that laughable moment there, our first afternoon game will be Denver going to Chargers land as they are playing the LA Chargers. Cam went with the Chargers and Mike went with Denver. They're split this week. Yeah, this one's going to be very interesting. It is a battle of the 5 and 9s. Denver has won 4 of their last games against the Chargers. AJ, you want to take this first pick?
The quarterback issues that Denver has right now, amongst everything else and the defensive issues that they've had.
Hey, AJ, what string of quarterback are they on?
I lost count.
Well, it could, they could be on, their third on the wide receivers. It's like, I don't know. Yeah.
I think I'm next in line for that quarterback spot in Denver. Something like that.
No,
I think that's kind of where we're at here.
I think they want to go try to get, Johnny Manziel. Heck, even Tim Tebow. They probably going to try to sign him over there. Or even go down to the SEC and ask him, hey, could you substitute with us for a little while? We'll take Alabama. We'll put him over here as Denver.
Is Dennis Eckersley from the Seahawks? No, that was Oakland. That old quarterback that always threw touchdown passes to Steve Largent. Is he still active in the NFL there? Maybe he can go play for Denver.
Yeah, it might, it'd be a different, time frame for him because of how long it's been since he's thrown, but still. All right. So you went with Denver?
No, give me the Chargers. Give me the Bolts.
You went with the Bolts. You know what? Surprisingly, I'm joining you and Cam. I think the Bolts pull something out. This Denver team right now is seriously struggling with in the quarterback situation. And again, it's up in the air. Literally, it might be in LA, but they're suffering bad. So give me the Bolts.
Yes. Give me give me the Bolts there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Jake would be happy with us for that one. Picking it is Chargers for that. Moving on, we got the Carolina Panthers going on up to DC to play the Richmond. Whatchamacallits. And again, another split decision right here between Cam and Mike. Cam went with the Panthers, and Mike went with them whatchamacallits. Carolina has lost 8 of their last 9 games after starting 3-2 this season, sitting at 4-10. Whatchamacallit sitting at 6-8 and leading the NFC East right now. I will start the pick off. I'm gonna go with whatchamacallit. I'm still hopping aboard that Washington train because this is a train that right now is on a direct path to the NFC East title, and it has some bumps, but you know what? Hopefully that is not a mirage off in the distance, and the train does not leave the tracks. So, AJ, who you picking?
Give me the that Washington team, the whatchamacallits.
Okay.
You know that they've righted the ship pretty well, honestly. You know, from last week's game against the Seahawks. You know, I'll give them credit. You know, they only had 20 points scored on them on their defense. So, and against a team like Seattle, that's actually a pretty good achievement for their defense. I think they're going to build on that and improve, and they're going to knock off Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, even with Dwayne Haskins' situation right there, I think that maybe that this was the wake-up call that he needed, and to lose that captain spot was a serious wake-up call, and I think maybe that it will start with this, depending on if Alex Smith is ready to go by Sunday with his strained right calf. So, I mean, it's just going to depend on how Alex Smith is feeling. But I feel like if they're going to name Haskins as their starter this week, because he's not going to get, he may not be suspended, but he will probably have to play. So I think this would be the wake-up call. All right. We go to our first mid-afternoon game. We go back to the least side of the bracket because we go to Dallas as they are hosting Philadelphia in that important NFC least game. And Cam and Mike all went Philadelphia. Shocked, surprised that especially for Cam to pick against his Dallas, but the way that their season's been going, I don't fault him. AJ, who you going with in this NFC least game?
Well, it's going to come down to this. What team's showing up on what side of that ball? Are we getting a decent Dallas Cowboys team that's can make stuff happen, can make plays? Or are we going to get the team that's going to fall flat on their face? Same side with Philadelphia here.
Mm-hmm.
I think with it being at home for the Cowboys.
And don't forget, Jalen Hurts is the starting quarterback for the Eagles.
That guy's still really rough around the edges here, so I don't think, I don't have a lot of faith in the Eagles offense. So give me the boys.
Okay, someone's jumping on with them boys. For the I wanna join the guys in Philadelphia. I mean, this is a boys team that has suffered a lot of bad setbacks this year. They have suffered a lot. And the fact that they are still in it, literally, they are still in it. They need to win out, and the whatchamacallits need to lose out to have a shot. It's just so crazy, but I just go back to what everybody says about the Cowboys.
Be patient. Just wait. They will not let you down. They are an accident waiting to happen.
Yeah, I think the accident has already happened, and I don't think that this is going to be a very happy Christmas because the boys got so close and know that their opportunity was coming to them, for Christmas. They're going to be sitting, it's going to be after Christmas though, but this is going to be a present that they don't want to open, that they want to gift wrap and exchange for store credit. But unfortunately, they can't because it's going to be a big L. I'm flying with them cheesesteaks. Give me the Eagles.
I mean, again, like I was just saying just here a couple minutes ago, it's going to come down to what team shows up for who. I think that's really where we're at.
Yeah, it's going to be a real deciding factor of which team shows up. And again, both teams have a shot to get into the playoffs. This is literally their last ditch effort to eliminate and move up, or to dash someone's playoff hopes dead and have an opportunity for that last week, the new year, and to have a chance to be in the playoffs after next week. All right, so we will move into the last mid-afternoon game, and that is the Seattle Seahawks hosting them Hollywood Rams. And it's a unison that Cam, and Mike all chose them Seahawks. I will pick I'll pick this one first. Of course, this is going to be the battle for the NFC West. The first seed, the NFC West titles up for grabs for this matchup, and it is going to be a very well-rounded game for the Seahawks. This is a clincher for them if they want to stay in the playoff or stay at to host the game. I feel like I'm with the boys on this one. Give me the Seahawks to knock out the Rams.
Right, so what's on order? Okay, so with this, it seems like every year when it comes down to playing for the NFC West and we're going up against the Rams, and it's going to be a low-scoring game. First and foremost, the Rams, and if our previous game against them is any indication, our Rams defense is tough. But our defense has gotten tougher. I think we are better prepared this week as a Seattle Seahawks group as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
We got Carson healthy. We got Russell doing his thing, making plays when he needs to. It's going to be a low-scoring affair, but the Seahawks, pull it out. NFC West champs, babe. We got this.
So we're all picking them Seahawks. Of course, and we're getting Monitor checking in. Pick a flex full PPR. Godwin, Drake, Kittle, Rodgers, or Hurts, and Browns or Rams defense. That's not bad for your fantasy football right there. Not bad right there.
Not bad at all.
Oh yeah, not bad. All right, so now we're going to talk about that Sunday night football game. It will be the Tennessee Titans going up against Green Bay at Lambeau Field. The boys went with Tennessee. AJ, you want to take this first pick?
What's the line? How does that line in that song go? Sunday Night Football, ready for a fight?
We've been waiting all day for, we've been
Waiting
waiting
all day for Sunday night.
Yep.
Dude, this game, that game is going to be a dogfight, okay? Straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got Rodgers and the Packers, and then you got the Titans there. Who's our quarterback? Tannehill? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tannehill and the Titans there. Two really good defenses, two good quarterbacks. Oh, buddy.
And oh, Henry.
Yeah, cannot forget about O. Henry there. It's going to be a fight. It's going to come down to the wire, I think. Another good potential overtime game. Tannehill pulls the magic. Titans beat the Packers.
Oh, and they sour the chances for the Packers to clinch the first round bye. Okay. That would be a good, good Christmas present for Seahawks and the Saints right now. So, Titans. You know what? I feel like I'm agreeing with all of you guys because everybody is picking up swords. This is going to be a game that the Titans need. This could be a potential and championship,
another potential Super Bowl matchup right here.
Yep, another one, depending on how everyone handles well in the playoffs. Tennessee could be a very good representation out of the AFC. Green Bay can represent the North, other than the Seahawks. But this is going to be a fight here, and I am with you guys. I think O. Henry's just going to slaughter, on the run. You got Tannehill is going to sling a lot, and of course, you can't forget about Aaron Rodgers there on Green Bay. But again, this is going to be a fight, and I'm joining you guys because I'm swinging with the sword. I'm swinging my sword because I'm swinging with the Titans.
Come on, Josh, get sat down on your booty.
All right.
That's going to be a good one.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, we got the last game of the night. We got our Monday game, our Monday night football game. This is going to be our tiebreaker pick. This is where we will pick our winner and give a total points overall. So,
yes, put it in the bag so you don't lose it.
I will go with this one. Start with this one first. Cam and Mike both went with Buffalo as Buffalo will take on New England on ESPN and ABC on Monday Night Football, the last night game of the season. And they both picked Buffalo. Cam went with 40 points total scored. Mike went with a 52. So this should be a good game. Unfortunately for Pat, the muskets are being put down because we are all circling the wagons. I think we're going to be circling the wagons here. Buffalo is just tearing stuff up right now in the NFC or the AFC East. This is just a prelude to what's going to happen in the playoffs for these guys. So yeah, I'm hopping on the wagon with a Buffalo, and I'm going to go with a total score of
On the road, can you wait?
45.
All right, not bad. Yeah, for this game, Buffalo's just too good. They're gonna beat the Patriots. And I'm gonna give it a total score of 56.
56. Okay. So in essence,
Circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
we're all circling the wagons with the Buffalo Bills this week. All right, guys, that is going to be it for the week. We've made our picks on this Christmas week. 16 is this should be a great week for football as we enjoy some eggnog, some snow, Santa Claus coming to town, and some football this week. Man, it should be a good week.
Absolutely should be.
Yeah, I want to thank my buddy AJ, Anthony, for coming on the show, helping me with the picks this week and talking some football. Yeah, let's do a little house cleaning before we peace on out of here. You guys should be liking, subscribing, and following us at the Flex Network on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube for your football content and wrestling content on Facebook. On Twitter, you can follow us at the Flex Network 1 for all your football and fantasy football stuff. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you should be following us at the Flex Network PW Elite for your wrestling content. You can search us on YouTube. Just search Flex Network and Flex Network Wrestling for that content. We will be back next week before we end this terrible, horrible year of 2020. We will make our last regular season picks week 17. I will be back tomorrow afternoon for a special Christmas Eve edition of the Wrestling Week in Review show. As we're getting ready for Christmas the next day, we'll talk a little wrestling, and that's, we should have some fun with that one. And of course, we're also on podcasts, guys. You should be, if we are on Spotify, we're on that Apple. If we are not where you listen to podcasts, let us know. We'll get on there and we will flex on that. But again, for anything, you want to say anything else out there before we peace on out of here?
You guys all have a great holiday. And like that. And, hug your loved ones.
Oh yeah, especially in this screwed up time period of this damn COVID. Enjoy the holidays, everybody. Thank you again, AJ. So for AJ Anthony, I am the SnowMan. This has been the NFL Week in Review show for Week 16. And preview for Week 16. Look back at Week 15. We will see you guys next week, hopefully with the crew back here, all ready to go before we end the year. There, guys. Peace out.